Over 2,400 athletes challenged this year's Intermountain IRONMAN 70.3 St. George North American Championship for one final time. Swimmers took their mark 10 minutes early at Sand Hollow Reservoir, hoping to beat the heat. What started out as a cool splash in 60-degree water would end up in a very challenging bike ride and run through the 90-plus degree desert heat. People who love this race came back to support it, including Kevin Lewis, who was here when it all began.
And so there may be another place, another way, another time. But right now, yeah, I guess the decision was made that we've done a good run here. I say we, I don't know. It's been a great run here, and it's good to see it go out successfully.
Large crowds began to line up early on as athletes from all across the country would transition from the swim, bike, and run event. Lori Swell came all the way from New York to cheer on her favorite athlete.
Let's go!
Is this his first Ironman?
No. He lives for this.
Okay, so he's had several then.
Yes.
As athletes made their way to downtown St. George for the bike to run transition, volunteers dressed in bright pink shirts were there to hand off a cold splash of water or even some sunscreen. Local marathon runner Aaron Metler was waiting for his relay team to run the final leg of the race.
And when they asked me to run, I was like, that's something I know I can do. I don't really swim or bike, but they're like, do you want to run? I was like, I can do that.
This was a hot and fast race. At least 2 riders crashed into a fence at the bottom of Main Street while turning the corner. After that, tape was placed on the road, warning them to slow down. However, the athletes pushed themselves to the limit, hoping to make their mark or at the very least finish the race. In first place for the pro men at a time of 3:37.54 was now 4-time champion in St. George, Lionel Sanders. Sanders set a new course best time in St. George.
For me, it started in the water. I swam really well for me, which got me close to the front. And then I came onto the bike and I rode as hard as I could so that I didn't trying not to see Sam. And it worked, but then I paid for it dearly on the run, and my run legs hurt really, really bad, and I had to suffer really, really deeply in order to take the win.
You might say experience and hard work counts.
I'm 37 now. I came here for the first time in 2014, so I was a youngster then. I was just getting started, but I still feel like I've got more to go.
Right behind him was Sam Long of the USA, who won last year and couldn't quite catch Sanders, who was a close ally, friend, and even neighbor.
I just got outclassed by Lionel today. He was better. He was better on the swim. He was better on the bike, and then I tried to close the gap down a bit on the run, but he just had a bit too much of a lead. And we're the biggest of rivals. We've raced each other a lot, and so he got the better of me today. And so hats off to my friend and rival Lionel Sanders.
And the heat was a little much for Colin Shook, who sank to the ground. Colin took third at the podium. The men were given medals, flowers, and a locally made beer to celebrate their victories. The women's race was also a close one at first, especially during the bike transition.
I took the lead on the bike about halfway through. I had a little carrot in front of me, a really fast swimmer from Victoria Lopez is her name. It was a hard, hot day. Like, this is probably the hottest day I've ever had here in terms of like just the sun intensity. And I know it gets hot in St. George, but it hasn't been this bad all week, so we got the hottest day. Yeah, it's so nice. I had my first 70.3 win here in 2018, which feels like a lifetime ago, and then just every year I come here I have a great race, but to finish with a win on the last year that it's here is super special, and I love this place.
Behind her was USA's Danielle Lewis, capturing her way to second after competing a total of 8 times here.
It's my job, 1. But 2, I love the sport. I really enjoy the people that are involved. I love the community that Ironman gives us. I like connecting with all the athletes of all levels.
And Jackie Herring, also of the USA, took third. The women were crowned one last time with medals and flowers for their wins. However, they decided to cool off instead of drinking it. And Aaron Metler of St. George managed to pull in a win for Team Salt Lake Tri Club as the first relay team in the event to cross the finish line.
It's these guys. I had the lead to start with. They got the lead. Fun race, though. Really fun race. Really hot. but amazing support. The community comes out 110%. You can tell every turn on the course. I'm sure the swim was electric. I'm sure the bike was awesome. And
Yeah.
Great day.
It was awesome. Fun time.
After 15 years and 17 races, the final edition of the Ironman races in St. George is now at an end.
But I'm incredibly grateful for the support that we've gotten from St. George, from Washington County, from the surrounding area over the many years, and the opportunity that we've had to race here.
Because this was the last race, Greater Zion planned something special for those many returning volunteers.
We produce kind of a special coin that we're giving to our volunteers, our volunteer captains and people that have been really involved with the event, just as kind of an acknowledgement that, you know, thank you for being here and for doing this, and here's a little memento of the event.
Despite coming to an end, many athletes who love this course are hoping that someday they may take on the challenge once again.
I'll certainly be back. If it's not for a 70.3, I'll be back to visit.
Truly love it. So whoever's in charge, I think we want it back someday.
In St. George, Melissa Anderson, Community Education News.